Look closely at the map of Asia. Right now, a quiet but incredibly dangerous war is taking place. There are no soldiers, no bullets, and no explosions. Instead, this war is being fought with concrete, cargo ships, and billions of dollars. The primary players in this battle are India and China. You might have heard of China's string of pearls strategy, a massive long term plan to build naval bases and commercial ports all around India, effectively surrounding the country. But today, we are going to look at India's master plan to break that string. This is a story of two ports located just 170 kilometers apart. On one side, in Pakistan, sits a Gwadar port funded and controlled by China. On the other side, just across the border in Iran, sits the Chabahar port funded and operated by India. This is not just a commercial competition between two shipping docks. This is a massive geopolitical chess game. Whoever wins this game will control the future of Asian trade, energy routes, and global power. To understand why India is spending millions of dollars in a foreign country, we first have to understand India's biggest geographical headache, Pakistan. India has a massive, rapidly growing economy. To keep this economy booming, India desperately needs access to the markets of Afghanistan and, more importantly, the resource-rich countries of Central Asia like Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, and further up into Russia. These regions are packed with the oil, natural gas, and minerals that India needs for its future. But there is a massive roadblock. If you look at a map, the easiest and cheapest way for India to send trucks and trains to Afghanistan and Central Asia is by traveling straight through Pakistan. But because of the hostile relationship between the two nations, Pakistan strictly blocks India from using its land routes for trade. For decades, India was effectively locked out of Central Asia. If India wanted to trade with Russia or Europe, its cargo ships had to sail all the way around the Arabian Peninsula, through the Suez Canal, and into the Mediterranean, a journey that takes weeks and costs millions in extra shipping fees. India needed a shortcut. They needed a way to completely bypass Pakistan. While India was trying to solve its Pakistan problem, China was making a massive move of its own. China is the manufacturing factory of the world, but to keep its factories running, it needs oil from the Middle East. Historically, Chinese oil ships had to travel through the Strait of Malacca, a narrow waterway near Indonesia. China's biggest fear is the Malacca dilemma. If a war ever breaks out, the US or Indian Navy could easily block this narrow strait, cutting off China's oil supply and freezing its entire economy in days. To solve this, China launched the Belt and Road Initiative. As part of this multi-trillion-dollar project, China poured massive amounts of money into Pakistan to build the Gwadar port. Gwadar is a game changer for China. Instead of sailing all the way around Asia, Middle Eastern oil can be dropped off at Gwadar and piped directly up through Pakistan Strait into western China. But for India, Gwadar was a nightmare. China now had a deep water port right at the mouth of the Arabian Sea, just a few hundred miles from India's western coast. In the future, this commercial port could easily be used to dock Chinese military submarines and warships. The string of pearls was tightening around India's neck. India had to react, and they had to react fast. The answer to China's Gwadar port was found just 170 kilometers away, across the border in Iran, the Chabahar port. India realized that if they could help Iran develop this port, it could solve all of their geopolitical problems at once. Here is how the master plan works. A cargo ship leaves Mumbai or Gujarat in India. It sails straight across the Arabian Sea and docks at Chabahar in Iran. From there, The cargo is loaded onto trucks and trains that travel north through Iran, directly into Afghanistan and Central Asia. Pakistan is completely bypassed. It is a brilliant strategic workaround. The project started slowly in 2003, but in May of 2024, India made a historic move. The Indian government signed a 10-year long-term bilateral contract with Iran to fully operate the Shahid Beheshti terminal at Chabahar. India committed hundreds of millions of dollars to supply giant cranes, build infrastructure, and lay down railway lines. Chabahar is also the golden key to a much larger vision called the International North-South Transport Corridor, or INSTC. This is a massive network of ships, rail, and road routes that connects India all the way to Russia and Europe. By using Chabahar, India cuts the shipping time to Europe by 40% and reduces freight cost by 30%. India successfully planted its own flag right next door to China's Gwadar port, keeping a close, watchful eye on Chinese naval movements in the region. Now, you might be asking, why is Iran allowing this? Why let India and China play out their rivalry on Iranian soil? The truth is, Iran is playing a genius diplomatic game. Iran has been crushed by American economic sanctions for years. They are desperate for foreign investment to keep their country running. To survive, Iran cannot afford to put all its eggs in one basket. On one hand, Iran signed a massive 25-year, $400 billion strategic partnership with China. But Iran is also deeply afraid of becoming a Chinese puppet state completely dependent on Beijing. So, to balance out China's massive influence, Iran opened its doors to India at Chabahar. By doing this, Iran plays two of Asia's biggest superpowers against each other. They get Chinese money, they get Indian infrastructure, and they secure their position as the ultimate trade hub of the Middle East. It is a masterclass in survival diplomacy. But in global politics, nothing is ever easy. And in 2026, the Chabahar Master Plan hit its most dangerous obstacle yet. For years, the United States had given India a waiver, a special permission to operate in Chabahar without facing American sanctions because the port helped send humanitarian aid to Afghanistan. But as global tensions escalated, that patience ran out. In April 2026, the US officially ended the sanctions waiver. Washington essentially told New Delhi, shut down your operations in Iran or face severe economic penalties. This put India in an incredibly difficult position. Do they abandon a 20-year-old strategic project and let China take total control of the region? Or do they anger the United States, their most important Western ally? India, showing its commitment to strategic autonomy, refused to simply walk away. Instead, Indian diplomats engaged in a tactical workaround. Behind the scenes, India began arranging to temporarily transfer its operational stakes to a local Iranian company, keeping the port functioning and keeping India's foot in the door while negotiating with Washington. The story of Chabahar versus Gwadar is far from over. It is a living, breathing conflict that is reshaping the modern world. It proves that in the 21st century, empires are not built with armies. They are built with supply chains, trade routes, and ports. As China attempts to dominate the global with its Belt and Road, India has proven that it is willing to play the long game to protect its borders and its future.